Let's get right into it. Number 8. If you swallow a penny. Pennies made after 1982 are actually pretty nasty if you swallow them. Before that, pennies were mostly copper, which your body could handle pretty well. But modern pennies are mostly zinc, with just a thin copper coating. When that zinc hits your stomach acid, your stomach basically turns that penny into a tiny chemical weapon. Most swallowed coins don't stick around for long. They usually make their exit within a few days, assuming they don't get stuck somewhere along the way. But these zinc pennies can cause some serious stomach problems while they're passing through. Think of it like having an unwanted house guest who also happens to be really into amateur chemistry. The real danger isn't that the penny will stay forever. It's what that penny might do while it's passing through. That's why doctors get really excited when kids swallow pennies. They have to track that penny's journey through your body with x-rays, like they're following some tiny metal criminal. Number 7. Coffee stunts growth. It'll stunt your growth, parents would say, acting like coffee was some kind of shrinking potion. Turns out, this was just another one of those made-up rules parents used to control what we ate and drank. Every time you saw someone drinking coffee, your brain would automatically think, danger. It's like parents accidentally programmed kids to see normal drinks as threats. The crazy part? There's zero scientific evidence that coffee affects your height. Scientists have looked into it and found nothing. Your height mostly comes down to your genes and overall nutrition. But that didn't stop an entire generation from growing up with food anxiety. Kids would literally hide their caffeinated drinks like they were doing something terrible. Some people still feel guilty about drinking coffee well into adulthood. It's wild how one little lie about coffee turned into this whole web of food fears. And the real kicker? Most parents probably believed it too, because their own parents told them the same thing. It's like this giant game of telephone that somehow convinced everyone coffee was the enemy of tall people. The closest scientists got was finding that massive amounts of caffeine might mess with calcium absorption a bit, but you'd need to drink enough coffee to make your heart do the cha-cha for that to happen. Number 6. Thunder happens when clouds bump. Inside storm clouds, there's a wild party going on with ice crystals and water droplets getting tossed around like a cosmic mosh pit. These tiny particles are building up electrical charges as they bounce around. It's like rubbing your socks on the carpet, but instead of shocking your little brother, you're creating something powerful enough to heat the air hotter than the surface of the sun. When lightning strikes, it instantly superheats the air around it. The air expands so fast it creates this massive sonic boom we call thunder. Every time you hear thunder, you're actually hearing the aftermath of a mini explosion happening miles above your head. By telling kids it's just clouds bumping, we're teaching them to accept simple answers instead of questioning how things really work. Some ancient cultures thought thunder was the sound of gods bowling. But the reality is even more intense. It's just air getting flash-fried by nature's own light show. If you can count the seconds between lightning and thunder, that tells you how far away the storm is. It's like nature's own tracking system for explosive sky drama. Number 5. TV terror tactics. Back in the day when TVs were basically furniture-sized radiation boxes, parents had a classic line, "Don't sit too close to the TV or you'll ruin your eyes." They kept saying it long after modern TVs made that worry obsolete. Think about how many times you jumped back from the screen, imagining your eyeballs slowly melting like ice cream on a hot sidewalk. The truth is, sitting close to modern screens can't permanently damage your eyes. Sure, you might get some temporary strain, like when your eyes feel drier than a desert after a Netflix marathon, or maybe a headache that feels like tiny construction workers are jackhammering behind your eyes. But that's about as permanent as your New Year's resolutions. The real damage? That lingering anxiety every time you catch yourself getting too cozy with a screen. Scientists now say the only thing you need to worry about is taking occasional breaks. Just look away every 20 minutes at something 20 feet away for 20 seconds. Think of it as giving your eyes a tiny vacation from all that screen time. The really messed up part? This lie actually made kids more anxious about their eyes in general. Every headache became a potential sign of impending blindness. Every blurry moment meant the TV had finally won its war against your eyeballs. Number 4. Bird abandonment myth. Your parents probably told you never to touch a baby bird that fell from its nest. If you touch it, the mother will smell your scent and abandon it forever. Well, turns out that was a load of bird poop. Most birds don't have a highly developed sense of smell. They're more like that one friend who can't tell when their milk has gone bad. What birds do have is amazing eyesight and hearing. They recognize their babies by how they look and sound, not by smell. These feathered parents are super dedicated. They'll brave storms, predators, and even that weird garden gnome just to feed their chicks. A bird isn't going to abandon its baby just because it got some human contact. That would be like throwing away your kid because they high-fived a stranger. Scientists who study birds have been handling baby birds for years, and the parent birds keep coming back. This myth actually messed with our heads in subtle ways. It taught us that nature was super fragile, and that we could ruin everything just by being near it. Some kids grew up afraid to help animals in need because of this myth. The truth is, birds are tough little warriors when it comes to protecting their babies. They'll face down cats, dodge hawks, and even fake injuries to keep predators away from their nests. A little human touch isn't going to scare them off. Number 3. The Bubblegum Tree. Your parents told you if you swallow gum or stick it on the ground, a bubblegum tree would grow inside you or sprout from that spot. This lie was probably meant to stop you from being gross, but it might have given you some weird ideas about biology. You probably spent years imagining a magical tree with branches full of hubba bubba and double bubble just waiting to be picked. Some kids even planted their gum, hoping to grow their own endless candy supply. At Southeast Missouri State University, students started sticking their gum on one specific tree back in the 1960s. The tree became this weird living art piece covered in decades of fossilized chewing gum. Now it's covered in decades of fossilized juicy fruit. But here's the truth. Gum can't grow into anything. It's made of synthetic polymers and artificial sweeteners. The only thing growing from that gum under your desk is your teacher's disappointment. Number 2. Dim light doom. Your parents told you reading in dim light would ruin your eyes forever. They painted this picture of you ending up with eyes so damaged you'd need glasses thicker than a phone book. But your eyes are tougher than a Nokia 3310. Reading in low light makes your eye muscles work overtime, like they're doing CrossFit. You might get some temporary eye strain, maybe a headache. It's basically just your eyes saying, "I'm tired. Give me a break." But permanent damage? Nope. Your eyes bounce back faster than your mom's mood after watching her favorite soap opera. Think about our caveman ancestors. They didn't exactly have LED reading lights in their caves. Yet somehow humanity made it this far without everyone going blind from poor lighting. The real reason behind this lie? Parents just wanted you to stop reading under the covers past bedtime, because nothing says, "I'm definitely not sleeping," like a suspicious blanket fort glowing like a radioactive marshmallow. Kids would hide under blankets, feeling like tiny rebels every time they snuck in one more chapter. Some of us grew up thinking we were slowly destroying our eyesight, one Harry Potter book at a time. Meanwhile, our eyes were totally fine, just getting a workout. Every slight headache became a sign that we were going blind. Every eye doctor visit became a confession booth. Number 1. The face freeze farce. Your face muscles are basically nature's most amazing rubber bands. They're designed to stretch, move, and bounce back no matter what crazy expressions you make. If faces could really freeze, we'd have a lot of people stuck looking like they just bit into a lemon. Scientists say our facial muscles are actually built for non-stop movement. They're like tiny acrobats that never get tired of doing flips. Even if you held the world's longest silly face, your face would just snap back to normal. Parents didn't just make this up because they were bored. This little lie was actually their sneaky way of teaching us about social behavior. It's like when they told us eating carrots would give us night vision. They were trying to get us to act proper in public without having to explain complex social rules to a kid. Some people actually believed this myth so much they'd panic if they held a face too long. Imagine being afraid to smile too hard at a joke because you might end up looking like the Joker forever. The only way your face actually freezes is if you get too much Botox, and that's more about trying to look like you've never had a single emotion in your life. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.